Alright guys, I'm back with another one. This is a Bad Dudes arcade game. I just got this one a couple weeks ago at an auction, but I figured I'd kind of just show you how we typically get stuff. I'm not going to show you everything that I'm doing, but I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like before we mess with it. Marquee's cracked, so I might get another one of those. These Bad Dudes always have this stuff on the side. Everybody peels it off over the years. So I'm going to keep peeling it off and repaint it. Looks like it's been outside or something's got pine needles and stuff all over it. Got to get a new bezel, plexi. Somebody scratched it up. I peeled this side off a little bit too. So basically I'm going to peel off the rest of the side there, repaint it. I'm going to put new T-molding on it. I'll put a new marquee on it. I'm going to get a new piece of plexiglass for up here. I'll probably replace all the buttons and the joysticks. Got to put new locks on it, make sure the coin door bulbs work. Looks like somebody's already put a new power supply in it. I'm going to recap the monitor, put a new flyback in it. That's a 7,000. Clean everything up. I got to make a back door for it. Then hopefully the board works, and of course check everything out. And then I'll give it back to Ronnie and he'll do a gameplay video for you. But this is kind of what it looks like now. And this is pretty typical. It's nothing really out of the ordinary. This is kind of how we usually get them. I'm back here in my work area, so I got stuff everywhere. Those are all my monitors and stuff I'm going to go through and fix and sell at some point or use for parts. It's kind of my boneyard. You see, I got stuff everywhere. Those are all Pac-Man boards, believe it or not. But anyway, I got to get started on this thing. Alright, so I got all the side art off of it. Guess you can call it side art. So now I'm going to sand it a little bit and paint it. I didn't have to peel any off the front because it was all pretty much on there still. I kind of like to do the cosmetics first, get everything looking good and clean. And then it kind of gets me motivated. Boy, if I could only get it to work, I'd be done. And then you're kind of working on a clean machine the whole time. But anyway, that's that. I'm going to keep going. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up pretty good. Repainted it. Put new T-molding on it. I like the red. I think it ties in with the marquee and the buttons. A lot of people don't like it, but I don't really care. I think it looks good. Makes it pop. I ended up changing the joysticks. The ones that were in there, they look like somebody replaced them before, but they were just junk. And I left the buttons because these are actually leaf switch buttons. So those will last forever pretty much. Oh, I put a new piece of plexiglass on it. The old one was scratched. New marquee. Recapped the monitor. Put a flyback in it. Vacuumed it out. Mounted the power supply. Put the manual down in there. Tested everything out. Everything seems to be good. Always got to add the coin door bulbs. A lot of people don't do that, but it really helps. Anyway, so I'm going to hand it back off to Ronnie, and he'll probably tell you a little bit about it and maybe do a gameplay video for a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool arcade game video for you today. We are playing the legendary Bad Dudes. I'm bad. I've had that stuck in my head for like 30 years now. I'm bad. I think he says it whenever you come back to life or something. When I was a kid, we played this. I don't know how often we played it in the arcade, but we played it on the Nintendo all the time. Love it. This was my brother Donnie's favorite game for a little while. We really gave it some work. So the thing cleaned up pretty well. They originally had a gray cabinet, as you saw earlier. But we paint a lot of stuff black. We happen to have the black paint, so we went ahead and painted it. Now, you could go back gray if you wanted. But, you know, depends on how far you want to go. You could put gray laminate on it as well. Nah, people do different levels, right? I think the thing looks great the way it is. I like it black with the red T-molding. Looks cool. The joysticks were about half worn out on this too, so we put new joysticks on it. The bezel's the original one, like he was saying, but it's a little worn, a little faded, but it's original. You know, it's only original once, folks. So there's some guys up here. They're doing the Shinobi thing. Isn't that ripping off the Shinobi thing? I don't know, Data East. Little suspect. Let's read the story, okay? A violent ninja gang has kidnapped the president. You are the long-awaited hero who can defeat the gang members one by one and rescue the president from the grasp of the dragon ninja. Use the 8-way joystick to move. Press one button to attack and the other to jump. Attacking. Use the joystick and attack button together for attack moves. Judge the timing and distance of the enemy when planning moves. I'm bad. Jumping. To move up or down to different levels, press the jump button while moving the joystick up or down. Also, jump to pass by or avoid stronger enemies. Power up items. To pick up these items, move the joystick down and press the attack button. So don't press down and jump. Press down and the other button. Nunchuck and knife. Powerful weapons. Drink. Restores your life meter. Watch. Restores your time limit for extended play. Wow, I don't like ones that have a time limit. I always go too slow. This has the cool rounded front on it. And of course also the cool rounded marquee. It just screams Data East. So, I guess we'll play through it a little bit. And see what the gameplay's like. You know, if you're young and didn't play this back in the day, you wouldn't understand that this was like the Call of Duty of its day. Like, this was so damn cool. It's hard to even explain if you didn't live through it. You got to imagine there was a time before games like this. This was like something new. This just seemed really, really cool to me, at least. I was just the right age, I guess. So this would have been, I would have been like 9 or 10, you know. And this was just awesome. This was so freaking cool. And Donnie was like 7 or 8, you know. Bad dudes. All right, so let me get the tripod. We'll play it a little bit and see if it's as fun as I remember it. Alright, that line running through the screen is not on the actual monitor. It's just something here in on the camera. You're just going to have to deal with it, folks. The only way I can make it go away is if I defocus the camera, and then you'd complain about that. Yeah, so let me try to think of the year. We got a Nintendo for Christmas. Let me think of the year. Before that, we had an Atari. But we got the Nintendo late. Let me think. I should be able to figure the year out by thinking about what year of school I was in. Oh. It would have been 88. No, 89. It was Christmas 1989. We got a Nintendo. That's kind of late, right? And I think the only game we had was Duck Hunt and Mario. And then we ended up getting Rad Racer and Bad Dudes. And that's probably it. That's all I remember us getting anytime soon. So we didn't have a lot of Nintendo games. I don't even know where we got those. We might have got them at the flea market or something. But this was one of the cool ones, right? Since we're here at Christmas, we can talk about that. Oh, an Excite Bike. We got Excite Bike. Rad Racer, Excite Bike, and Bad Dudes. And it's so hard to explain. If a lot of you watching did live through it, but we were just at the right age, right? And it's so hard to explain that this was like the best game, or one of the best games you could get. At least we thought so, right? So just getting this game and holding it was something cool. It was like, oh man, I can't believe I got this. This is so awesome. I can remember even just the smell of the box and stuff, and just how cool this was. This was like, at the time, one of the coolest things in our life was this Nintendo that we got for Christmas. Of course, this is the arcade version. I don't remember where I played the arcade version. The first arcade game that I can remember playing was Akari Warriors and Ivan Stewart's Off-Road. They were right beside each other in a department store, which was maybe a year before that. Maybe in 88, maybe. Something like that. 87, maybe. And then we moved. We used to live in West Virginia. Then we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And whenever we moved down here, that first Christmas, we got a Nintendo. And so I had played the Nintendo before at friends' houses and stuff, enemies' houses. So maybe we played this over there. I don't remember, but I don't remember where I ever played the arcade game. Maybe at the beach. Thank you for asking. If I can, the tripod is right in the way. They did a good job on the sound effects. They sound about right. If you're new to my channel, you may not know. You're not going to see great gameplay here. I don't particularly care to be the best at playing a game. I just like to enjoy it. Oh yeah, I remember that little jump kick thing. Oh, the guy's got a sword. I ain't seen him in a look. It says Karnov. I haven't seen the sword in a long time. You know, around this time, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were a big deal too. Wait, is that the guy from Karnov? Ninjas were a big deal about this time. Gotcha. I'm bad. I'm bad. so cool. This is what good video games look like, people. Got it. Got you, sucker. Yeah, I vaguely remember this. Haven't played this in a long time. A little bit of burn-in on the screen. The haters are going to complain. It'll be alright, folks. It'll be alright. You'll make it through. Got it. I'm bad.
Got it.
I need to judge the distance when I'm planning my attacks. I remember the look of the sword guy. That stands out in my mind. Oh, I forgot about that little creepy sucker. He's in something else, though. I think some of these characters were in other games. Oh, did I lose it? Oh, man, just when I was about to wear him out. Is it going to let me continue? What have you done with President Donnie? The dog's going on.
Got it.
Yeah, the sword guy looks familiar. I'm gonna tear him up. I'm gonna wear him out.
I'm bad.
I'm bad! Folks, if you don't yell that after he says it, it doesn't work. Come on now.
Got it.
So I got the nunchucks now. So around the same time, remember I'm 10, we decided we were all into this ninja stuff. You know, we were watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we went out of the woods and cut down some little tiny saplings and then cut them and wrapped electrical tape all around the little pieces of wood. Wonder how I don't remember how we cut them. We had some kind of saw. How in the world did I ever beat it? I wonder if the continues turned off. Or if you just gotta be a bad enough dude to pull it off. Oh, I bet you can continue in the Nintendo version.
Got it.
I'm killing all of them with one punch without the knife. So I don't know what good the knife does. Look, it's Dude's back for more. Like I'm shanking him.
I'm bad.
I'm bad! Stay young, people.
Got it.
Yeah, so we went out in the woods. We made our own nunchucks with a little piece of chain and a couple little hooks. We didn't hit anybody with them, which is a damn miracle. So we heard, though, that one of our friends got beat up by this one kid. And so we went over. We all lived in apartments at the time. So we went over to the apartment. We had all of our stuff, all of our little handmade nunchucks. And we had a handmade bow staff. We didn't have any swords or knives. That's good. I had some throwing stars I bought at the flea market, though. We went over and we was going to wear that kid out. But his mom wouldn't let him come outside because there was like 5 of us out in the parking lot saying we were going to kill him. So nothing ever happened. That's good. I can't decide who I might just remember the guy, but I can't decide why the sword guy seems so familiar. He may just look like another character.
Got it.
Man, it's tough. It's tougher than I remember, folks. So there you go. That's a little bit of bad dudes. I'm gonna have to brush up on my bad dude skills so I can save President Donnie. So what do you think, folks? Do you remember playing this back in the day? Were you any good at it? I'll bet I was playing the Nintendo version and just continuing over and over again. I'll bet that's how I got farther in the game. But see, this is the arcade version, so they don't want you doing that because they want to make a quarter off of you every time. Every time you die. Mom, can I have another quarter? I'm just about to beat it. I don't know where I would have played the arcade version, but I remember him doing the "I'm bad" thing. But they don't do that in the home version, I don't believe. You know, the Nintendo, it did talk a little bit on a couple games, like on Punch Out. It goes, Mario goes, and at the time we thought that was so cool that he was basically talking. But there you go. That is Data East. Famous Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. Not versus the Dragon Ninja, versus Dragon Ninja. Very cool game. This and Double Dragon were just ground shaking. Wow, they were awesome. And I don't know how much longer that would have been. Maybe, let me think. I'm trying to remember years. So there was that, and there was a bunch of games around that time that were pretty cool, and they're kind of legendary. These late '80s games, Ninja Gaiden, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You saw those around a lot, and then about just a little bit after that, I guess it would have been 91. Man, all this runs together. I guess it would have been 91. I walked in a grocery store in the same neighborhood, right down the street. And right by the front registers, there was one arcade game. Street Fighter 2. And it was just... Yeah, I'd never seen anything like that. Maybe that was 92. I don't know. I think it was 91. It was just such a jump ahead of this game. It was just so... just such a, 3 3 years had passed actually, but it was just such a big jump, and the characters were large, and they had all kinds of moves, and you were just fighting one-on-one instead of going through a side-scrolling thing. And to me, I hadn't played that many different games, so I didn't know that there were games before Street Fighter 2 that were similar. For instance, Street Fighter 1. I had never seen Street Fighter 1. Never seen anything like that. Back before the internet, there were big pockets of the country that, and I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to do, you know, but there were big pockets of the country that had never seen, depending on your age and stuff, and where you were, and just how your family, the stores your family went in and stuff. I had never seen most of the arcade games. I don't remember seeing any of, I was born in 78. I don't remember seeing any of the early 80s stuff back in the day because I was a little bit too young. My earliest memories of seeing any kind of arcade games is whenever I was about 5 or so, or 6 maybe. We went to a pizza place and there was a whole room of arcade games. And I can remember, and they had like a ball pit. It was Pizza and Pipes in Fresno, California, or Clovis, California. They had a ball pit, and then I can remember there were 3 or 4 arcade games on each side of the room, but I don't remember what they were or anything like that. And then I honestly do not remember even seeing another arcade game until I saw that Ivan Stewart's Off-Road, Super Off-Road, and Akari Warriors sitting in the front of a Hills department store in Charleston, West Virginia, where we live. And then after that, I'm sure I saw more, but I just don't remember it, you know? And after that, the next one I can actually remember seeing is that Street Fighter 2, which didn't come out till 91. I think it was 91. It may have been 92, but I think it's 91. So I saw that Street Fighter 2, and it was mind-blowing. It was like nothing I had ever seen before. But you got that over and over and over again. There were big jumps through time, you know, where the stuff got so much cooler. But my whole point is, I was kind of like a casual game player. Like I hadn't seen a whole bunch of arcade games. So a lot of people that were around that time, they remember when each game came out, and you know they were going to the arcade all the time and spending a lot of money playing, and you know they went by all often. So they remember, you know, playing all of the games extensively and all that. It wasn't like that for me. I don't remember even seeing tons of the games until I was 9 or 10 years old, when I started seeing like the first stuff that I can even remember. So the whole classic era, I didn't see any of those games. And then after Street Fighter 2 came out, I used to go play that for a while, and then the Championship Edition came out. And that's the next one that I can remember ever seeing. I don't remember seeing anything between Street Fighter 2 and the Champion Edition. So the Champion Edition was at a Walmart. So we had moved again. We moved a lot. We moved again, and there was a big Walmart. You know, I'm going to school, and I would walk over to the Walmart after school every day just to see who was playing the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition arcade game. And usually I wouldn't even play it. I'd just stand there and watch other people play it. And this is kind of like when you were a kid. I've talked to a lot of people that did similar things. And so around that time, I started seeing all kinds of games. So it may just be like an age thing, you know. So at that time, I would have been 13, 14, you know. And so then I can remember seeing The Simpsons was mind-blowing. The 4-player Simpsons game. And I can remember seeing the Neo Geo stuff, like Art of Fighting, I thought was amazing. The way it zoomed in on the characters. Nobody ever even mentions that anymore because it's just so obvious. But back then, none of them did that, right? So when you're playing, it zooms in, and then if you back up on the screen, it zooms out so that both people are on the screen. Groundbreaking technology at the time, right? That was just like, what in the world? I can't believe it. They're doing this. And so Art of Fighting, I never played King of Fighters, never saw it. I liked World Heroes, was cool. And it was just amazing how big the characters were. Like, you saw how small the guys are on this game. On World Heroes, the characters are like this tall. You know, it's just, there was nothing like that. They were much bigger than even the Street Fighter characters. And And so that went on for a while, and we moved again. And when we moved again, there was an arcade in the mall, and I used to go to it. And so we Joey and I rode our bikes down to the mall. And when we got there, in the back of the room, you walk past 50 other arcade games. In the back of the room, in like one of the best spots, was Mortal Kombat 2. Now, I hadn't even seen Mortal Kombat 1, kind of like the Street Fighter thing. Mortal Kombat 2 was the coolest thing ever. I mean, just blew us away because it was Street Fighter 2, but you could kill people. And the fatalities and the music and just how dark it was. And we were in an arcade kind of like this, like our shop is right now, where it was dark. And that's just kind of my memories of it. I don't remember ever. I must have played the arcade game because I remember the I'm bad thing. And I vaguely remember Gauntlet, but I don't remember ever playing it. So I guess I did play a few more games that I just don't have a good memory of. But I remember Gauntlet and just how cool that was, the top down view and everything. And the hardest thing to explain and to find words for is how it felt. You know, because you're a kid, you don't have a lot of concerns or responsibilities. It's real easy to just care about playing a video game. You know, I mean, you're a kid. That's what you're supposed to do, right? But playing Bad Dudes, it was like this. It was like a good book or something. You know, it was like a really good movie. It was like. You know, I can remember when we got the Nintendo home system, you know, and the playing Super Mario Brothers. I can still remember playing it like Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, whenever it was. Whenever we were playing that, and I hadn't really played it very much before that, you know, and I finally got to play it, and you know, by this time it's old, you know, it's like '89 or something that we got it. But I can remember playing it, and it was like it was so fun. It was like the same feeling that you got when you went and saw The Lord of the Rings the first time, or when you went and saw one of the Star Wars movies, and it's this big epic thing, you know, and it's so cool, and you're like, oh man, I can't believe you, blah blah blah, and you know, stuff you don't. Part of it's just because we're getting older, but nothing super cool like that in the entertainment world happens anymore. You know, a new game comes out, they've already pimped it to death where you know half of the stuff about it before it comes out because you've seen all the videos here on YouTube or on in magazines. Well, nobody even gets magazines anymore, but on news sites on the internet or whatever. And you know about half of the things about the game before it ever even comes out. Arcade games they don't even make anymore, really. Movies, a lot of them are just regurgitations of stuff they've done before. I mean, right now the new Avatar movie's out, but I don't really even have an interest in going to see it because, you know, for lots of reasons. But everything's so commercialized in a different way than it used to be. It's so hard to explain it, but I'm sure 80% of the viewers are going through the same thing where they've noticed it. But just I can still remember getting a brand new Nintendo game. Like I keep saying Nintendo game because I played it on the home system, but I can still remember getting a brand new Nintendo game, and we would always get kind of the cheaper ones or a used one or something. And I can still remember just how cool it was to look at the manual. Man, look, it shows you pictures in here, what the game's like, blah blah blah. Because you didn't have the internet, so I didn't know there were magazines about the games or anything, you know. So. For a little while there, until we get about the era that we got the Super Nintendo and stuff like that, all of this stuff was like a much more exciting because we didn't know anything about it. So you would start playing this game and you don't know what it does, you don't know what you're supposed to do or who the bad guy is or how many levels there are. And you know, sometimes it would get to a certain level and you can tell it's the last level, and it would be like exciting as hell, like, oh wow, this must be the end, you know. Or like on Super Mario Brothers, we knew there were 8 worlds, and then getting to the final world, the 8th world, and then it's all different. Everything's dark and everything. Oh no, you must be getting close to Bowser. And then you get to 8-4. Man, you know, because you played all the other levels, you know this is the level that Bowser's on. It's not going to be like the other ones. It's going to be hard, you know. And you're so close to beating the game. And it was just so fun. Just so fun. So exciting. So anyway, there was a little bit of that involved in Bad Dudes, too. For a little part of our life, Bad Dudes was really cool. Really cool, right? So to me now, years later, it's cool seeing the game still running, seeing the thing, it's still around, like I'm still around. This game and I are old friends, right? And we meet once again. Isn't that cool? So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments below. Were you a bad dude? I'm bad. Make sure to tell me where you played it back in the day. Give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. We didn't have to do all that, folks. And make sure to check out my brother Donnie's channel that I used to play two-player with. He's not here right now, or he'd probably play two-player with me. Check out his channel. The link is down below. And finally, just so we can commercialize it a little bit, if you want to buy your own Nintendo games and you're going to buy them on Amazon, use our link down below and it gives us a tip. Right? So, at Christmas time, a lot of people have been doing that, so it's been working out really well. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. We appreciate everybody that sent us the Christmas letters. You know who you are. A few people sent us in cards and stuff. Thank you very much for that. We'll show some of them in a later video. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. Leave your comment down below. And I hope you had a Merry Christmas.